I can teach anybody how to invest in real estate. I literally can, but getting somebody over that hurdle to say, oh man, if Dustin can do it, if Brett can do it, like I can do it.
What's the first secret, Dustin, to getting your business to automate to a six-figure real estate investment business?
So that's a great question. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm going to take one giant step back. So automating is one. We absolutely want to automate, but let me give you a story about how I got to the point where I was able to know that I can do it, because I can teach anybody how to invest in real estate. I literally can, but getting somebody over that hurdle to say, oh man, if Dustin can do it, if Brett can do it, like I can do it. So I love to share a story. Now, this story is date back a few number of years ago, and I have 4 kids. So if you're watching this, you can see my 4 kids in the picture behind me. So I have 4 kids, but on the birth of my 4th child, I was working for the county government over in Fresno, California. It was a good job, and I was working just like everybody else was, and I'm working for the county government, put in 40 plus hours a week. And so I went on paternity leave after my 4th child was born. So she was born, went on paternity leave. That's where the dad stays home, bonds with the baby, helps the mommy out, changing diapers and stuff. So I did all that. And then I come back to work. And I'm back to work for about a week. And I get a phone call at 3:30 in the afternoon on a Friday. So I answer the phone, and at my work, I get a call from my boss's secretary. So the top person in the department said, "Hey, Dustin, would you please come to the boss's office?" And I said, "Well, sure, I'll go ahead and do that." So I hang up the phone and I sit there and I pause for a second, because thinking, what in the world this is no normal. Like, why are they calling me to the office? So as I'm sitting there, I'm realizing that, oh my goodness, there was something that before I got, went on paternity leave, there was some rumors or some rumblings that there were potentially layoffs coming, like the department was running out of money. And so as I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, no, that's not me. I have so much seniority. My bosses love what I do. I get raises all the time. So I immediately dismiss that. So I get up out of my chair and I start walking down the hallway to my boss's office. Now, it's not that long of a hallway, but as I walk, it gets longer, or it feels like it gets longer and longer. And my feet start feeling like they're lead bricks, like walking down the hallway with lead bricks on my feet, because it starts to dawn on me, oh my goodness, like this could potentially be the time that I get laid off. And I just had my 4th child. We have 4 kids. How am I going to provide for my family? So as I'm walking down, it gets heavier and heavier, but I turn the corner to my boss's office. His door's closed, and I see the secretary, really nice, really sweet lady. And she says, "Dustin, would you please have a seat?" And sheepishly, she grins at me, because she's trying to console me with her eyes, because she knows everything that's going on. I have zero clue of what's going on. So I turn and I sit down in the chair waiting for my boss's door to open. And from there, I'm sitting there and thinking, oh man, what have I done my entire life to this point, to where now I might be getting laid off? So my hands started to get all clammy. I started sweating, thinking, oh my goodness, am I a failure as a father? Am I a failure as a husband? Like all these years, 10, 15 years working at this county department, oh, is it all going to be taken away? Well, the door opens to my boss's office, and out walks a lady with a piece of paper in her hand. She's noticeably distraught. She's noticeably upset. Her world's been rocked. She's not necessarily crying, but you can tell there is something going on. And she leaves, and the boss ushers me into his office. Lo and behold, I actually get laid off. And remind you, this is the government. Nobody gets fired or laid off from the government, but I did. So it can happen to many people. And as I'm walking back to my office, I realize 2 things. Now, I'm getting laid off. I need to do 2 things. Number one, I need to provide for my family. That's the number one thing to do. So I need to get a job right away to get money, to put roof over our heads, food on the table. And so I went to work on that. The second thing I realized as I'm sitting at my desk is I need to do whatever I needed to do to make sure this never happens to me again, or nobody has that amount of power over me. And so that point then and there, I realized, and this is what I want, rounding up everything that you asked, Brett, I think the first place to get, before you can automate, before you can even do anything, is to make the decision in your brain that you are more valuable than your job. Because what I used to do is I used to say, when somebody asked me the question, hey, Dustin, what do you do? And that's basically like, what value do you put on yourself? And normally I would say, well, I work for the county government. I do IT work for the county government. And no longer did I ever say that. I made the decision right then and there. My value is in myself. It's in my God. It's in my family. And so what I decided to do was say, from that point forward, I'm telling everybody, I'm an investor. I invest in real estate. Even though 100% of my money comes from my job, that's my part-time, that's my side job. My number one business is that I'm an investor. So everybody listening to this is something you need to realize, is that your value is so much more than anybody can ever pay you. In fact, your boss is only paying you just enough to keep you working and not quitting, but not so much as taking money out of their pocket. Now, I'm going to round out the story to fast forward to the very end. About 6-7 years later, after I made that decision, I bought property, rental property after rental property after rental property. And then I had 30 plus properties. And I said, you know what? Even though I'm making $75,000 here, working here, I'm losing money. So I made the decision to actually quit. Now, to round everything out, the last thing, as I'm walking to my car, remember, I'm working in the county government downtown. I have to park 2 blocks away. Maybe it might even be a mile away. And so I was walking home like I do every single day to my car. It takes about a 20-minute walk. Well, if you contrast the walk to my boss's office, felt like my feet were lead bricks. This time, I felt like I was walking on clouds because I quit my job, never needed a job again because I have passive income. My business is automatic now, which we'll get into, and I'll literally walk you through the entire process on how to do it. And it's automatic. I make money every single month, whether I work or not. In fact, the less I work, the more I just make money because I don't do any work. Other people do the work for me. So I want everybody to realize that the value is in you, not in your job. And you can do it just like I'm just a normal guy. And so if I can do it, you can do it.
Amazing. I absolutely love that. I love that. From county job in Fresno, California to retired at 37, from big lead feet, very scary, fearful stuff when you have to provide for your family, to walking on the clouds and being able to help more people do it now. That's an amazing story, Dustin.